The call came in as rain hit the windshield in sheets. The road near the river bent under a broken streetlight. A small car sat half on the curb, hazard lights blinking without rhythm. A woman stood in the beam of a passing bus. Not waving. Not running. Just still, as if waiting for a signal. The van did not slow enough. The mirror clipped her shoulder. The sound was not a scream. It was a dull contact, then a slip. The driver's hands tightened on the wheel. The passenger's hand went to the dashboard and stayed there. The woman fell toward the river rail. A phone hit the ground and skidded. The van kept moving. The river kept moving. The hazard lights in the small car kept blinking. The driver was Aaron Vale. Night security, contracted, a uniform that carried no authority outside a lobby. The passenger was Mara Klein. Office payroll, keycard access, the kind of person who kept spare pens aligned. The van rolled under the next bridge and stopped in shadow. The engine stayed on. The heater stayed off. Mara reached into the glove box. A cloth. A flashlight. A printed checklist for vehicle incidents. Her hand paused on the checklist, then pushed it back. Aaron watched the mirror. No headlights behind. No sirens. Only rain and the river. Mara opened her phone camera and aimed it at Aaron's face. The screen framed him like evidence. The phone went back down. No photo saved. No message sent. Rain kept wiping the van as Aaron drove under the service roads. Mara didn't look out the window. She watched the dashboard clock. "Stop here," she said, before the sat-nav could argue. A loading bay sat behind a grocery warehouse. Metal shutters. A broken CCTV dome above the door. Aaron killed the engine. The silence rang. Mara reached into the glove box again. This time she took the cloth and a small bottle of sanitizer. She wiped the steering wheel, then the passenger handle, then paused. "Not that," Aaron muttered. Mara stared at him as if measuring the cost of speaking. "Your prints don't matter," she said. "The logo matters." She pointed at the side panel through the fogged glass. The company mark. A clean shape that daylight would love. Aaron opened the door. Cold rain slapped him. He stepped out and looked up at the broken dome. "It's dead," he said, too quickly. Mara was already outside. She walked to the rear, pulled the cloth across the logo, then stopped. The cloth caught on a ridge of grime. She rubbed harder. Aaron's phone buzzed once. A notification from the security app, route deviation detected. He showed it to Mara. She didn't take the phone. "Disable it. It logs automatically. Then your shift ends early," she said. "Call in sick. You're allowed to be sick." Aaron's jaw tightened. "We should go back." Mara didn't raise her voice. "We don't go back," she said. "We become the people who didn't go back." She glanced at the loading shutters. A cat moved near a drain, then vanished. "Wipe the plate," she added. "Front and back." Aaron stepped toward the plate, hands shaking, and stopped when he heard himself breathing too loud. "You think this fixes it?" Mara's eyes stayed flat. "No," she said. "It starts the version that fixes it." They left the loading bay with no plan except distance. Aaron drove as if the road could erase itself. Mara pulled her coat tighter and opened her notes app. Not to type. Just to look at the blank screen. "Tell me what you saw," she said. Aaron's laugh came out wrong. "I saw a shoulder. I saw her fall." "Did she hit the rail?" "I don't know." Mara turned slightly, watching him through the dim interior light. "You didn't stop." Aaron's fingers tightened on the wheel until the skin blanched. "I panicked." "Don't say that," Mara said. He glanced at her. "What?" "Not to me." She tapped the blank notes app. "To anyone. Panic is sloppy. Panic invites questions." Aaron swallowed. The wipers scraped. The river disappeared behind buildings. Mara's phone rang. A colleague. She didn't answer. It rang again. She turned the phone off, then placed it face down like an object that had betrayed her. Aaron's phone rang once too. A number he didn't know. He watched it ring out. Mara leaned forward, voice lower. "If she's alive, someone will call an ambulance. If she's dead, someone will call the police. And if no one calls?" Mara's eyes shifted to the windshield where rain distorted streetlights into smears. "Then the city decided it prefers an empty lane." They drove in silence until Aaron reached his building. He parked in the staff bay, under a camera he trusted because it belonged to his routine. Mara stopped him before he opened the door. "Look at me." Aaron hesitated. Mara lifted her phone and opened the selfie camera. She held it between them. Their faces appeared in harsh, close light. Two strangers inside a frame. "This is the version," she said. "Two people. Going home. Nothing else." Aaron stared at the screen. "We're still us." Mara's thumb hovered over the shutter. "Not if we keep changing," she said. "So don't change." She closed the camera without taking the photo. The screen went black. Their faces vanished. By morning, the city had already started its own narrative. A post on a local page. A blurred photo. Missing near the river. Mara saw it at her desk and kept working. Her stapler clicked with the same tempo, as if sound could hold the room together. Aaron sat in the lobby in uniform, watching people come and go. A woman with wet hair asked for the elevator. A man complained about a package. Normal requests. Normal faces. At 10:11, an internal alert popped up on Aaron's work tablet. Municipal traffic inquiry, vehicle movement logs near River Road, 2200 hours to 22:30. A case number. No department name. Aaron's throat tightened. He clicked the case number. A page loaded, then refreshed by itself. The time window changed to 21:50 to 22:10. He clicked back. The window changed again. 22:05 to 22:20. Aaron leaned closer, as if proximity could stabilize it. The cursor hovered over submit response. His phone vibrated. "Mara. One line, do not reply yet." He typed OK and deleted it before sending. He stared at the empty chat field. His supervisor walked by, half smiling. "All good?" Aaron nodded too quickly. "All good." The supervisor's eyes dropped to the tablet screen. "Anything interesting?" Aaron turned the tablet slightly, casual, blocking the case number with his hand. "Just a system update." The supervisor moved on. That evening, Aaron met Mara behind a corner shop. No reason given. No greeting. Just urgency. Mara held up her phone. "Look." A traffic camera clip. 1 minute. Rain. Empty lane. No van. No woman. No broken streetlight flicker. A prepared absence. Aaron watched it twice. "It's wrong," he whispered. Mara's face didn't move. "Wrong is useful," she said. "Wrong closes faster." Aaron looked up at the streetlight above them. It hummed. "What are we inside of?" Mara's answer came like a rule. "A version," she said. "And we keep feeding it." 2 nights later, the first reflection appeared. Aaron stood in a convenience store, waiting while a clerk counted change. The fridge doors were glass. The glass held his outline and the aisle behind him. In the reflection, Mara stood 2 steps back. She wasn't there in the aisle. Only in the glass. Aaron turned. The aisle was empty. He turned back to the glass. Mara in the reflection lifted her hand, not waving, just marking his attention. Then she lowered it. The clerk slid coins across the counter. "You want a bag?" Aaron blinked. "No." Outside, rain hit the awning like fingers tapping. Aaron walked home with his hood up and his eyes lowered. He called Mara on the way. No answer. He called again. It rang, then stopped. At his apartment, he found her sitting on the stairs, coat still on. She looked dry despite the rain. "You're ignoring me," Aaron said. Mara's gaze stayed on the landing window. "You saw something," she said. Aaron swallowed. "You too?" Mara nodded once. The landing window was dirty. The glass should have shown only darkness. Instead it showed them from the side, like a camera angle that didn't exist. In that reflection, Aaron stood with his hands behind his back. Uniform straight. Shoulders square. Not the man on the stairs. A different Aaron. Mara spoke without looking away. "That's not you," she said. "That's the one who goes to work tomorrow." Aaron's voice broke into a whisper. "How do we stop it?" Mara finally looked at him. "We stop moving," she said. "We stop changing. We hold the version." Aaron shook his head. "That's not stopping." Mara's mouth tightened. "It's surviving," she said. Behind them, the stairwell light flickered once, then stabilized. The reflection didn't flicker at all. The first message from Thomas Hale arrived as a calendar invite. No title. No location. Only, Attendance recorded. Aaron ignored it until his supervisor mentioned it casually. Municipal coordination. Everyone's doing it. Mara received the same invite on her work calendar. Her manager smiled. Routine cooperation. The city called it routine so no one would ask why it was happening at all. They met in a room above an archive office. 2 chairs. 1 table. 1 window that made the rain look thicker than it was. Thomas Hale stood by the window as if he'd been waiting for hours. Dry cuffs. Clean coat. Eyes that didn't blink often. He didn't ask their names. He placed 2 sheets on the table and aligned them with the edge. 1 sheet had Aaron's name printed. 1 sheet had Mara's. No accusation, Hale said. Just alignment. Aaron sat. Mara remained standing until Hale looked at the empty chair. Standing reads as agitation, he said, like a note from a manual. Mara sat. Hale tapped a line of text. This is the stable version currently circulating. Aaron leaned in. The stable version placed him alone on River Road. It placed Mara at home, asleep. It placed the contact as uncertain. That's not what happened, Aaron said. Hale's expression stayed neutral. Of course, he replied. Truth and stability rarely arrive together. Mara's fingers tightened around the chair edge. What do you want? Hale slid the pen closer to them, not to a specific hand. To end the noise, he said. Aaron stared at the pen. And if we don't? Hale's voice lowered by half a degree. Then the city keeps improving the version without your input. A pause. Improvement is rarely kind. Mara looked at Aaron. Not pleading. Not warning. Choosing. Aaron felt his chest tighten. He understood the trap. It wasn't a cage. It was a default setting. They didn't sign that day. Hale didn't threaten. He didn't argue. He simply collected the pages and replaced them with a new pair. The new pages had the same case number. Different timestamps. Earlier timestamps. The contact moved from 2214 to 2210. The van moved faster. The road became emptier. Aaron looked up. You're rewriting time? Hale's mouth twitched, not quite a smile. Time is flexible in records, he said. Memory is flexible in people. Mara's voice came out steady. And what about the missing woman? Hale didn't answer directly. The file will close, he said. Aaron leaned back. Alive or dead? Hale's gaze stayed on the folder, not on Aaron. Closed, he repeated. Mara's phone buzzed on the table. An unknown number. The screen flashed once, then went black again. Mara didn't pick it up. Aaron watched her not pick it up. Hale watched both of them watching. He stood, buttoned his coat, and left the pen behind. When the door shut, Mara let out a breath she hadn't admitted she was holding. This is not police, she said. Aaron's jaw clenched. What is it? Mara's eyes went to the Rain Street window. A place where versions get approved, she said. That night, in the black TV screen, Aaron saw himself again. Hands behind his back. Uniform straight. Standing still. In the reflection, his eyes looked calmer than his real eyes. Like the version already accepted, the city began to behave as if the stable version were true. A colleague at Aaron's building mentioned an incident near the river. You were on duty, right? The colleague asked, casual. Aaron forced a smile. Different area. The colleague nodded too easily, satisfied with the lie. The city liked simple answers. Mara's work issued a random audit request. Not punitive. Just procedure. Her manager praised her cooperation before she had cooperated. In the evenings, Mara started doing things twice. Locking the door, unlocking it, locking it again. Counting steps from the sofa to the kitchen. Aaron watched her and didn't comment, because comments created new shapes. One night, Mara stood in front of a bathroom mirror with the light off. Only street light glow seeped in. Aaron stepped behind her and watched their outlines. In the mirror, Mara's mouth moved. Aaron heard no words. He turned the bathroom light on. The mirror filled with their real faces. Mara looked at him, annoyed. Don't interrupt it, she said. Aaron's throat tightened. Interrupt what? Mara switched the light off again. In the dark, the mirror became a screen. Their outlines returned. This time Aaron saw it clearly. In the mirror, Mara turned her head toward him and smiled. In the room, Mara didn't move at all. Aaron reached for her shoulder, Mara caught his wrist before he touched her. Her grip was firm. "Stop," she whispered. "You'll make it unstable." Aaron stared at her hand on his wrist. "How do you know?" Mara's voice stayed low. "Because it punishes instability," she said. "It rewards the version that holds." Aaron looked back at the mirror. The smiling Mara in the mirror had stopped smiling. She was waiting. Thomas Hale called at 6:40. No greeting. No number. "Today, 9:10, he said. "Bring nothing." Aaron didn't answer quickly enough. Hale spoke again, softer. "Silence can be cooperation," he said. "Or it can be refusal. Choose which it is." The line ended. At 9:10, the archive room smelled of dust sealed in cardboard. Hale sat this time. A recorder lay on the table, not switched on. He placed a folder down with weight. The cover read, "Version Candidate." Inside were photos Aaron had never seen taken. The bridge rail. The broken streetlight. A smear on wet concrete that looked like a shoe mark. One photo showed the van's side logo, clear, centered. Another showed Aaron's profile at the wheel through rain, taken from an angle that shouldn't exist. Mara leaned forward. "That's impossible." Hale's eyes stayed calm. "Nothing is impossible in a file," he said. Aaron's voice came out rough. "What do you want?" Hale slid out two forms. One made Aaron the only witness and the only driver. One kept Mara as unaware passenger. Mara's fingernail tapped the table once. "This is your mercy?" Hale didn't react to the word. "This is your options," he said. Thomas Hale outlined the options and waited. Aaron's stomach tightened at hearing the name spoken like a line in a template. Mara stared at the forms as if they were a mirror. Aaron pointed at the earlier timestamp. "You moved it again." Hale nodded once. "Records prefer beginnings," he said. "Beginnings are where responsibility sticks." Mara's voice sharpened. "If we tell the truth." Hale lifted a finger, not silencing, just marking an interruption. "The truth would require a new version of you," he said. "Do you have one ready?" The question hung between them. Not philosophical. Administrative. After the meeting, they walked in silence through wet streets. The city looked like it had been washed and still wasn't clean. Mara stopped under an awning and finally spoke. "We can still report it," she said. Aaron didn't answer immediately. He watched cars pass, headlights cutting lines through rain. Mara continued, "Faster now. We call. We admit everything. We accept whatever comes." Aaron's mouth tightened. "And then what?" he asked. "They'll believe us? After the file already has photos?" Mara stepped closer, voice low and sharp. "Then we become honest." Aaron's laugh was quiet and wrong. "Honest people don't survive audits," he said. "Honest people don't keep jobs. Honest people don't sleep." Mara's eyes hardened. "So we stay this." Aaron looked past her at a shop window. In the glass, they stood differently. Closer. Straighter. Cleaner. A couple that belonged in an approved story. Aaron lifted his hand and touched the glass. Cold. Real. In the reflection, the approved Aaron didn't touch the glass. He stood with his hands behind his back, waiting. Mara saw it too. Her face didn't change, but her fingers curled inside her coat pocket. Aaron whispered, "That's who the city thinks I am." Mara's voice softened by a fraction. "That's who you made," she said. "When you didn't stop." They stood under the awning until the rain shifted from heavy to steady. The decision didn't feel dramatic. It felt like a default locking in. Mara stepped away first. "Go home," she said. "Don't create new angles." Aaron watched her leave and realized the advice was procedural. Not caring. Not cruel. Just survival. When Aaron turned to walk, the shop window reflection walked a beat before him. Like the file was leading, the closure arrived quietly. A news update, missing woman presumed deceased. No details. No appeal. The family's quotes read like edited sentences. Aaron's badge stopped failing. Mara's audit ended with no notes. No one asked questions that required real answers. The city didn't reward them with peace. It rewarded them with normal. The reflection stopped that same day. Not gradually. Not kindly. Just gone. For a week, Aaron slept full nights. For a week, Mara stopped relocking the door twice. Then the envelope arrived. Dry paper despite rain. No return address. Inside, a document titled Preliminary Record. A future date. A future time. Location, River Road. Subject, Aaron Vale. Category, voluntary disappearance. Mara read the last line first, like she already knew where Payne lived. Last person who saw him alive, Lydia Markovich. Aaron's throat tightened. That's her, he whispered. That's the missing woman. Mara placed the page on the table, perfectly centered. The habit returned like a reflex. The file isn't closing, she said. It's looping. Aaron stared at the date. It wasn't far. Close enough to be real. He reached for his phone. Mara's hand stopped him. Don't, she said. Aaron looked at her, eyes wide. Why not? Mara didn't answer with fear. She answered with recognition. Because that call creates a new you, she said. And the file doesn't have space for it. Aaron pulled his hand back slowly, like touching a hot surface. In the black TV screen, a reflection appeared. Aaron in uniform. Hands behind his back. Waiting. The reflection didn't look frightened. It looked scheduled. Aaron went to the River Road the next night with the document folded in his pocket. Not brave. Not stupid. Obedient to the shape being prepared. Mara followed at a distance. Not to stop it. To witness it, like the file demanded. The broken street lights still flickered. The bridge rail still sweated rust. Rain still turned asphalt into black glass. Aaron stopped where the contact had happened. He looked down at the wet lane. A phone lay near the curb. Not his. Not new. Just placed. A marker. Mara stayed under the bridge shadow. Don't touch it, she called softly. Aaron didn't move. He watched the phone as if it might ring. From the corner of his eye, he caught movement in a puddle. A reflection. Lydia stood behind the bridge rail in the puddle's skin. Still. Patient. Not pleading. Aaron turned quickly. No one stood there. He looked back at the puddle. The reflection remained, steady as print. Lydia lifted her hand, not waving, just marking him. Mara's voice came from behind, tight. You see her? Aaron didn't answer. He couldn't afford new words. The puddle reflection shifted. Behind Lydia, the van appeared in the reflection, clean, centered, as if photographed. Aaron saw his own profile at the wheel. This time, the reflection Aaron wasn't panicked. He was calm. He looked like someone who had already accepted a version. Mara stepped closer, shoes splashing. This is a warning, she whispered. Aaron's voice came out flat. No, he said. It's a template. He unfolded the document under the flickering streetlight. The ink looked too sharp for paper that had traveled through rain. Mara stared at the future time. It wants you there, she said. Aaron looked at the puddle reflection again. Lydia's face didn't change. The same patience. The same waiting. Aaron's stomach tightened. He understood the horror. This wasn't fate. This was administration. A version of him was already on schedule. The next morning, Thomas Hale appeared at Aaron's building lobby as if it were normal. He stood by the mailboxes, dry, clean, unhurried. Aaron approached with the document in his hand. He didn't offer a greeting. He offered evidence. Hale didn't take it immediately. He looked at the folded paper like a familiar object. You received the preliminary, Hale said. Aaron's voice sharpened. This is real? Hale finally took the paper, unfolded it, scanned the last line, then refolded it precisely. Real enough, he replied. Mara came in behind Aaron, coat still damp. You did this, she said. Hale's gaze moved to her without heat. No, he said. You did. Mara took a step forward. We didn't choose this. Hale's tone stayed mild. You chose stability that night. A pause. Stability has continuity. Aaron's jaw clenched. We can change it. We can tell the truth. Hale's eyes held Aaron's for the first time. Then you will require a new version of yourself, he said. One the record can't support. Mara's voice came low. So we're trapped. Hale shook his head once, small. Not trapped, he said. Maintained. Aaron's hand tightened around the document. What happens on that date? Hale didn't answer with drama. He answered like a clerk. The record completes the sequence. Mara's fingers curled. You're not helping. Hale's expression remained clean. I'm offering options, he said. Options don't rescue. Options organize. Aaron felt cold behind his ribs. He asked the only question that mattered. If we refuse the sequence? Hale's pause was almost polite. Refusal is a version too, he said. But it's unstable. The city corrects unstable versions. Mara looked at Aaron. Her face was controlled. We can still leave town, she whispered. Aaron pictured the reflection Aaron, hands behind his back, waiting. Leaving town would require becoming someone else. He didn't have that person ready. Hale turned to go, then stopped. Keep the document, he said. It helps you cooperate with yourself. He walked out into rain without raising his collar. On the day of the scheduled time, the city felt quiet in a way that didn't mean peace. It meant preparation. Aaron wore his uniform without thinking. The uniform fit the version. Mara didn't comment. She watched his hands while he buttoned it. They didn't speak much on the drive. Speaking created angles. Angles created changes. At the river road, the broken streetlight flickered like a heartbeat. Aaron stepped out into rain. The asphalt shone. Mara stayed by the van door. You don't have to do this, she said, voice tight. Aaron looked at her. He could see the real Mara, wet, tired, human. He could also see the version Mara in every glass surface, still, aligned, procedural. I already did, Aaron replied. Mara's eyes flashed. When? Aaron's gaze moved to the bridge rail. When I didn't stop, he said. When I chose who I was. Mara stepped closer, hands shaking now. We can call right now. Aaron pulled his phone out. His thumb hovered over emergency. He could do it. He could change the story. He could become someone else. And then he saw it. In the black glass of the van window, his reflection stood with hands behind his back. Not holding a phone. Not hesitating. Waiting. The reflection Aaron looked at him like a supervisor. Patient. Certain. Aaron lowered the phone. Mara's breath caught. No, she whispered. Aaron's voice stayed flat. We don't need destiny, he said. We built this. A car passed slowly, headlights washing them in white. The car kept going. No one stopped. Rain hit the river like static. Aaron stepped toward the bridge rail. In the puddle beside the curb, Lydia's reflection appeared again. Still. Patient. She lifted her hand, not waving. Marking the moment as recorded. Aaron didn't jump. He didn't run. He simply walked out of frame. Mara turned in a circle, scanning the road, scanning the rail, scanning the dark water. Nothing dramatic surfaced. No splash. No scream. Only the sound of rain and the weak flicker of the streetlight. Mara's phone rang. A number she didn't know. She answered without speaking. A voice came through, calm, administrative. This is to confirm the subject is no longer present. Mara's throat tightened. Who is this? The voice didn't answer the question. It will be recorded as voluntary, it said. A pause. Your cooperation is noted. Mara's mouth opened, then closed. She realized she was being used as the witness line. She looked down at the wet asphalt. The document lay there, face up, as if placed. The ink didn't run. Mara read the last line again. Last person who saw him alive, Lydia Markovich. The line didn't make sense, and yet it did. Lydia wasn't a person now. Lydia was a function in the record. A placeholder. A stamp. Mara stepped back from the document. She looked toward the river. Only darkness and rain. She felt something behind her. Not a presence. A reflection. She turned to the van window. In the glass, Mara stood behind herself. Dry. Aligned. Calm. The approved Mara. The approved Mara lifted a folder, thin and grey, and held it out. Mara stared at the glass. Her real hand rose slowly, without deciding to. Her fingers touched cold glass. In the reflection, her fingers took the folder. Mara blinked. The folder was on the van hood now, real paper, real weight. She opened it. Inside, a new preliminary record. A future date. A new subject line. Subject, Mara Klein. Category, voluntary disappearance. At the bottom, last person who saw her alive, Aaron Vale. Mara's throat tightened. The city had enough versions to continue forever. Thomas Hale's message arrived before Mara moved. No greeting. No number. Only, 910. Mara went to the archive room because going anywhere else required becoming someone new. She didn't have that version ready. Hale waited by the table with the new folder already open. He didn't look surprised to see her alone. Mara placed the folder down. "You're doing this," she said. Hale's tone stayed mild. "You're continuing it," he replied. Mara's eyes burned. "Aaron is gone." Hale nodded once, like acknowledging a filed form. The sequence advanced. Mara leaned forward. "Tell me how to stop it." Hale didn't smile. He didn't gloat. He didn't soften. He simply slid a page toward her. 2 options. 1. Contest the record, reopen the case, destroy the stable version. 2. Accept continuity, keep employment, keep life, keep the approved self. Mara's hand hovered above the paper. "Both are punishment," she said. Hale's voice lowered slightly. "Neither is punishment," he said. "One is instability. One is maintenance." Mara stared at the signature line. It already had that faint indentation, like someone had pressed a pen there long ago. She realized the cruelty. The city wasn't forcing her hand. The city was waiting for her to choose who she had already chosen to be. Mara whispered, "We could have stopped." Hale's reply came immediately. "Yes," he said. "That's why it stays with you." Mara's mouth tightened. "I'm not trapped by fate." Hale's eyes held hers. "No," he said. "You're trapped by your own consistency." Mara looked down at the pen. She could stand up. She could walk out. She could call the police. She could scream. All of those required a new Mara. A Mara who didn't exist in any file. Mara's hand closed around the pen. The pen felt normal. That was the worst part. She signed. The stamp came down. A dry sound. A small door closing. Hale placed the folder aside. "Procedure complete," he said. Mara stood, walked to the window, and saw her reflection already calm. Approved. Outside, the city kept moving under rain. People crossed streets. Buses hissed to stops. Neon reflected in puddles and made the pavement look clean from a distance. In a building lobby across town, a new employee scanned a badge. Green light. 1 beep. Normal. On a bulletin board, a missing poster appeared. A new face. A new name. In an archive drawer, a thin gray folder slid into place without noise. The label showed the case number. Under it, a header, "Version accepted." In Mara's apartment, the table was wiped clean. The new record sat centered, waiting for the next date. Mara placed her keys down in the same spot. She didn't check the alignment twice. She didn't need to. The version held. In the dark TV screen, her reflection stood behind her with a folder in hand. The record accepted the sequence without revision.